So OpenAI and Anthropic launched their biggest models in the same week, and the internet basically lost its mind. There's a lot of use cases out there for coders, but what I want to cover today is 10 things that non-coders can do now with Opus 4.6, because there's a lot here. These are 10 things that you and I, as solopreneurs, freelancers, people transitioning our careers, can do right now that used to be either impossible or painfully difficult just a week ago. I've got a cheat sheet available for this video. It includes all the prompts and resources that we're going to go through today. I make one of these for each of my videos. There's over 175 of these instantly available to anybody who supports this channel on Patreon. There's a link in the description, so check that out. But first, let's dive right into use case number one, which is that Claude Opus 4.6 can now spin up entire agent teams. And this is huge. I've had to really rethink all of how I use AI based on the fact that they can do parallel jobs all at once. Now, the demo that keeps coming up here is that you can build a C compiler with a team of 16 parallel Claudes. Well, what does that mean for us knowledge workers, non-coders? In fact, it means quite a lot. There were a lot of things that I was doing sequentially, one after another, that I can just do in parallel in bulk right now. So I'm grabbing this example here of just a research project where we can do a competitive landscape, target customer research, pricing analysis, skills and capability audit, all at the same time, running all four simultaneously. I'm dropping this into Claude Cowork, which is another breakthrough tool from the Anthropic team. I'm not sponsored by Anthropic, but these happen to be some of the most powerful tools out there. And anytime you're asking the AI to do things in parallel, it's going to go out and do a whole lot of work for you, work that you don't want to have to redo. So always end these prompts with asking if it has any questions for you before running this stuff. I always think that I've got it covered, but it always really helps to refine what we're asking, and it generally comes up with great things here. And we can see if we open this right sidebar that it's got 4 different processes that are all running at the same time, which is awesome. Really take some time to wrap your mind around that. Anytime you're thinking through different new processes or reinventing old processes, what can be done in parallel, get the AI doing these things in parallel, and you're going to 10x your AI capabilities right there. In addition to the parallel workflows, Opus 4.6 now has adaptive thinking. So previously it was just kind of concise, quick and dirty answers, or like really deep thinking. But now there's actually 4 different levels of how hard you want this thing to think. And it can decide on its own how to adjust the level of effort that it's making for whatever request you're giving it. I love this tweet by McKay Wrigley. He says its ability to infer intent feels like the biggest upgrade. I couldn't agree more. This is really now turning into a genuine world-class coworker. You can test this out by giving it really challenging prompts where it has to do a lot of different things, spawning parallel tasks and adaptively thinking which of those are going to be easy and which are going to take some deep thought. On to number 3, where Opus is now starting to be able to operate various tools in the real world. So clicking on things in different SaaS apps and understanding, graphical user interfaces, websites, and so forth. One really cool example of this that I saw is in this link here, where they point this Cowork at a bunch of receipts that have been scanned in. They pull those receipts, itemize them, and categorize them into a spreadsheet that it creates right there. So that was not possible that long ago, folks. The age of the agents is here. Think about it. It can also access your email inbox as well if you give it that connection. So anytime you have to go through digging through emails or trying to pull together project details, you can just use Claude to go through, pull all that in, scrape all that, categorize it, and then build different assets from that. That brings me to number 4, which is using Opus's 1 million token context window to take a big, messy folder of documents and turn that into a highly organized knowledge base that your AI can use going forward. And again, Claude Cowork is probably the easiest way to do that because you can select whatever folder you're working on using this little drop down here. I love Cowork because now you have really direct access to reading your material, and then it can create these assets and drop them right right on your computer rather than having to copy and paste all the time. There are links to a bunch of different great resources for getting started with Claude Cowork here in the cheat sheet. Number 5 relates to another memory upgrade that Opus 4.6 just got. In addition to that massive context window, it can now understand when that context window is getting full and compact it or condense it so that you can keep a thread going for days and days and days and it doesn't miss a beat. In addition, it also stores other memory files specific to each little session there. This was way different than it was not long ago where it would kind of forget things early in the conversation all the time. For any of you nerds out there like me, this is called compaction and it's a major upgrade to 4.6. Again, the trick there might be to bookmark these or save them in various files so you can quickly come back to different threads. All right, on to number 6. So not only did the memory get upgraded, but also the output got upgraded. You can now generate things that are 128,000 tokens long. So that's like 60,000 words in one response. That's a short book. This is really helpful as it aligns with the parallel work that it's doing. So as these different sub agents are creating these pieces for you, that can all be stitched together in a massive final document. Think about how good Google's deep research is. If you've ever used that tool that creates very long, intensive research documents, now you can do that right inside of Claude. And again, you have access to all these other tools in there as well. So you can think about prompts like this where you might be attaching a 40-page partnership agreement for a joint venture. You want an executive summary, you want a risk analysis, you want a financial breakdown, comparison to standard, negotiation priorities, and action items, all in one go, in one response, rather than working through each one of those one at a time or something like that. Number 7 is running various what-if scenarios when you're making decisions. You can now use Opus to explore multiple branches of a decision in parallel. This can be strategies, this can be pricing, this can be career moves, and it can look at all of that and kind of compare and contrast all at once, all in parallel, not doing these sequentially. This allows it to create counter arguments and recommended paths with real depth. So instead of just asking, hey, should I go solo? Should I leave my job? You might want to have it look at all the different scenarios there that might happen. What if everything goes well? What if Murphy's Law, everything goes wrong? What's the most likely path? And what should we do? How can these different paths converge? You can even think about having it create a decision matrix table that kind of weighs all these pros and cons, or creating a decision log that tracks your decisions over time and adjusts as you go forward. Number 8 is using Claude to generate Excel files and PowerPoint slides directly. This can save you a ton of time and get you to some of these advanced features that have always been confusing to me. These different VLOOKUPs, different macros, and different pivot tables type stuff. I know people who love and live in Excel, and they think of these sheets almost as mini pieces of software that they use on a day-to-day basis to make decisions and track things. Number 9 is a use case that's very close to my heart. I love creative projects, and with Opus 4.6, you can now create these long-running creative projects without losing any consistency. Think about writing a book, creating a course, creating like a fantasy world where Claude can then keep a track of all the different storylines, plot twists, rules, and characters, incredibly consistent. This is another place where Cowork can really help by accessing and updating the files that live right on your computer. So don't be afraid to push this thing to the limits. That's really where you begin to learn and master this new world of AI. Number 10 is where we start to combine everything that we've learned so far and really begin to think of Opus 4.6 as this semi-autonomous teammate. There's a lot of people online saying that it is really hard to argue that this is not AGI. I know that term gets thrown around. I don't really bring it up very much on this channel, but this is one point where it really feels pertinent, where this thing is becoming much more like a teammate. It's been very hard for me to not anthropomorphize this. So many people call their AIs him, her, etc. I've always been calling it it. Now I keep slipping more into he and she when I'm thinking about these because they have so much nuance to them. And it's with number 10 here that I want to talk a little bit about using Claude Code. Now this is a tutorial for non-coders, but Since you're here in Cowork, Claude Code is right there, very easy to access, and you can start asking it to create cron jobs or automated ways to kick off different workflows. So everything up until now and everything in Cowork requires you to jump in here and trigger it off. But if you get into code a little bit, you can start to say, hey, I've got this workflow, it works great, I've got it documented here. Can we create a cron job, or can we create a way to kick this off on Monday morning? I got to prep for this Monday morning meeting always. Here's the 10 things we got to do. Can you do that automatically so it's already in a file somewhere for me to look at and I don't need to kick it off? And that's where the real magic begins to happen. You can start thinking of these different weekly client pulses, different content pipeline managers, ongoing research, continuously updating your process documents and your knowledge bases, just automatically making sure, okay, every week at the end of the week, the AI is going to scan through this stuff and toss out anything that wasn't necessary or that's not necessary going forward. And in that way, you're really, giving this thing more and more autonomy. And this is really where everything changes from I ask the AI this and I get this response back into this, like, I'm actually onboarding and training a new coworker. This model really brings a ton of new capabilities to everyone. So make sure to really push it as hard as you can. Make sure to give yourself some time to experiment with this. I've got all this in the cheat sheet. This is a 35-page cheat sheet with a ton of prompts, dozens of links to different resources. That and over 175 other cheat sheets just like this are instantly available to anybody who joins my Patreon. There's a link in the description there. I've got some group coaching calls in there that are a lot of fun. But next, I want you to check out how to use Claude for project management. I've got a video about that right here. I will see you over there.